Hello everyone, and welcome to another video where we look at IB Math, grade 9. And in this video, we're starting a new topic where we talk about statistics. We're going to be doing an intro of statistics covering some basic concepts, but we're not going to dive deep into statistics. We're starting off the first video by talking about data in general and then looking at a couple of concepts and terminologies that you need to be familiar with when we are talking about data. So, what is data? That is the first question. And data just means information. Any type of information that we deal with is categorized as data. Now, the importance of data is it helps us understand whatever we're dealing with better. So the more data we have on a certain topic, the better our understanding is of that topic. So let's look at a simple, relatable example. If we take a look at a game, just any random game, what kind of data could we have about it to know more about it? Well, first of all, even the name of the game is relevant. So, what's the name of the game, right? The year it was made, its price, its genre. So is it an action game, a horror game, a strategy game? Even the code of the data of the game is data. It is all made of data. So when we have these kinds of information, we can understand what this game is about more, right? When we are talking about data, there's two main categories of data that we deal with in life. So everything in life we can find data on to understand it better. And the two main categories are qualitative data and quantitative data. So qualitative data, coming from the word quality, are descriptive types of data. What do I mean by that? I mean they're usually data that you can put into words. So the color of people's eyes, or even the genre of a game, right? We can't put genres in numbers. We can describe them, right? Horror, action, romance, comedy. So descriptive is the key word here. And it's describing characteristics of something. Right? Now, what we're going to be focusing more on, because we're doing math at the end of the day, is quantitative data. And quantitative data is numerical. So it has everything to do with numbers. Any kind of data that is made of numbers. All right? Now, within quantitative data, we have two subcategories as well. So quantitative data is made of to subcategories, smaller categories. All right? We have discrete data, and I'll explain what that is. And we have continuous data. The difference between discrete and continuous is discrete data is counted data. So think of it as data you can count on your fingers. Whole numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or specific numbers. So even shoe sizes, if you look at shoe sizes, they will have decimal places in them sometimes, but it's just a half. So sometimes you'll find like 42 and a half as a shoe size, but you don't find other numbers in between 42 and a half and 43. It's just either 42 and a half or 43 or 42, right? So even that is counted as discrete data. So counted values. And continuous data is the opposite of that, is measurements. Any data that can be any kind of number. So for example, the height and weight of students in a school, right? We can't count that on our fingers. We need to measure the heights and weights of the students, and they can be anything. They can be any number we don't know yet, right? So this is not discrete. This is what a continuous data looks like. Numbers that need measurement, and they can be any numerical value. Okay, so if we go back to our game example, and we let's add a couple more types of data for this game. So for example, let's say mechanics, game mechanics, so how to play the game, right? And let's say objective of the game also. All right, let's say what else can we say about data in a game? Let's say, for example, if the game has any attacks, like what are the stats in the game for different weapons? How high of a level can you go, for example? Correct? All right. Now let's try to go through these and together decide whether each type is qualitative or quantitative. Okay? The name of the game. That is obviously a qualitative type of data because it is a name. It describes, it's in words, so it's descriptive. So that is qualitative. Okay, what about the year? The year the game was published. That is one specific year, right? So that's discrete, quantitative. So I'll just write discrete here. And when we say discrete or continuous, we already are saying it's quantitative data. Okay, what about the price of the game? Well, the price of the game is a specific number also, correct? Yes, it can change over time depending on the market and the economy, whatever, but it is still a specific number. No matter at any point when you want to buy the game, it's a specific number, correct? So it is discrete. What about the genre of the game? The genre of the game, we're describing it by a word. So it is qualitative. Okay, what about the code of the game? Now that's an interesting one because codes are made of a combination of numbers and letters. So I will say this is qualitative data because it doesn't give us a measurement of anything. It doesn't count anything. It is specific, but it is describing the foundation of the game, how the game actually exists. So this is qualitative. What about the mechanics of the game? So the mechanics of the game are always going to be described by, let's say, attack. You press up, down, left, right, A, B, X, right? Mouse, left mouse button, right mouse button. So these are all descriptions. So this is also qualitative. The objective is always going to be described in words. You have to go through this adventure, go through the journey, meet this character, meet the other character, finish these missions in order to meet the final boss, and then you save the world. So this is all descriptive information. So this is qualitative. Okay, now the last part, stats. The stats in a game are your leveling system, your attack numbers, if there's defense, like if there's any items, how much power do they give you, how much defense do they give you, how much dexterity, and so on. If there's magic ability, how much ability you get, how much mana you get. All these are varying, so these numbers keep changing inside the game, right? They keep adding up. So you measure them. These numbers are measured inside the game based on the level of the weapon you have, what kind of weapon you have, how much it's upgraded, what your own character level is. So because these numbers are measured based on other factors and they keep changing and they don't have any specific number to them, they can be any number based on your level and your item levels. This is continuous data. Okay, so for practice, think of anything else that you're interested in and try to find pockets of data for it. So think of all the possible pieces of information that you can think of when it comes to that thing, and then try to categorize them. Is this qualitative? Is this discrete? Or is this continuous? And yeah, hope this video was useful, and I'll see you in the next one.